Oh, oh, it's bright as shit. God damn. Why am I so overlighted? Let me check. That's better. That's better. What is good, boys? What is good? Hope all of you are doing good. I was actually checking some fucking entries, bro. Maybe we're gonna take some live trades. Maybe we're gonna take some live trades. We're building up some nice liquidity, guys. Pro tip: get if you're a trader, get some blue light glasses, okay? Because otherwise, your eyes are gonna be smoked. Your eyes are gonna be smoked afterwards, and especially when it's darker, bro. Especially when it's darker, go and save yourself from some eye pain. Okay, I'm sharing the stream real quick. Give me one sec. It's been a day of patience, but the weekend was nice, bro. Weekend was so nice. Let me share it in here. Live trading at everyone. Guys, if you're not in the Discord, where the fuck are you? Okay. Okay. Just don't use white charts. You have to use white charts. If you want to be profitable, you have to use white charts. When trading smart money concepts, when trading TCT models, you have to use white charts. Okay, you just have to. What I'm thinking right here, right? And I'm just going to jump straight into it. What we're seeing here on ETH is we have been in this accumulation range, and ever since putting in that low of Monday during Asia, we've been slowly grinding up, and we just swept our extreme buy side liquidity, which is that liquidity point right there. And we're creating some sort of a distribution model. It's just that, man, tap 3. This is throwing me off a bit. This is throwing me off. This sell to buy right there. That sell to buy kind of created this 10-minute demand zone that you can see right there, 10-minute order block. And it is a 10-minute block. The thing is, on the lower time frame, it looks like shit. Like on the lower time frame, it's starting from a random point, and the higher time frame structure demand is already completed. But I'm thinking we might have a potential future trade here to even though we're trading against that higher time frame accumulation, price can always, since we're building so much sell side liquidity below right here, so much sell side liquidity below, I'm like, price can always retrace to sweep that sell side liquidity before wanting to go higher if it wants to complete kind of this accumulation model. And maybe even on a higher time frame, right? If you go a bit deeper, maybe on the higher time frame, this will actually look like some sort of a model to accumulation on also the 2-hour, where on the lower time frame you kind of have that low time frame model, and on the higher time frame that kind of becomes an extended model or just a high time frame model in general. So even though, from a context perspective, it is better to look for longs overall, that doesn't mean that we cannot take shorts as scalps when having sell side liquidity below. So I'm looking at this, right? And I'm like, okay, well, technically you have your 1, you have your 2, and you have your 3, where the third tab meets all the requirements because you do sweep that extreme liquidity right here. I'm just like, this is a bit too tight. Okay, that's a bit too tight. If you had a better return to zone going into that third tab where you can kind of connect the curve like this, sell to buy, I'm a bit sketched out on ETH, and I want to see a bit more. Okay, I would like to see a bit more, but then I'm asking myself, what would I want to see if this does play out? Now, obviously, we can extend our range high to the deviation high. Always look for low time frame model 1 opportunities, but what I would preferably want to see is a move down. I want to see a move down and then mitigate that 10-minute block. Where does that start? Right there. bounce from here, and then get that slow move up, where maybe on the current retracement, we leave behind some sort of, I don't know, supply zone, low time frame order block, whatever gets created. And then from there, that gives us kind of the opportunity to, get rid of the block because they tested it, and then draw some sort of a beautiful liquidity curve going from that range low into your entry. And then you can enter on that break of structure where you're basically just expecting a flush down, right? You're basically just expecting a flush down. So that's just an idea. As of now, price would need to reject, obviously, if this is going to be playing out. But you're trading on a low time frame, right? You're trading on a low time frame, so you have to be aware of what price is doing on the higher time frame. Otherwise, you can get trapped so easily because you are building sell side liquidity, but it doesn't mean that you have to sweep it now. There are many opportunities where, or many situations where you leave that sell side liquidity for later on and not immediate sweeps. But I am keeping an eye on this because maybe we take that high, maybe we go down, and then we just go higher. Maybe this becomes our new range high, and that becomes our new range low. We can look for scalps like this where we actually may end up taking that main range high, which is obviously better because then you'll be trading a distribution with a beautiful liquidity trail while having completed the order flow objective of that Model 2 accumulation. Okay, so that would definitely be better, but as of now, I'm just keeping an eye on current price action. Bitcoin is not doing that much though. Comparing it to Bitcoin, I was watching inside the Discord, I was watching this Model 2 accumulation for a long time. Literally, this extreme demand POI, I was watching that for a long time, and we can kind of see the sweeps going into it. Got the Model 2 accumulation, but then never got a proper entry on here. Okay, definitely because of timing. That's one. It happened during Asia, but even if I was awake for it, I would not have gotten an entry because you come down, mitigate extreme demand, and then from there have that literally slow move up until it pops off. That's like ETH behavior. That's typically ETH behavior. So I really don't like that. You did leave behind structure demand. I think it's like 3-minute structure demand. It is some sort of structure demand, but you have to be aware that the demand POI itself consists of liquidity in here. So, it's like you got to be careful a bit. But overall, you are also... Did the volume area alone move down? I kind of forgot. Let me check. I think the volume profile just shifted downwards. Yeah. So you're hovering around that POC. Is building up more and more volume in that specific price point. So you got some demand below. You have some supply above. You had an accumulation. The technical target of the accumulation is already hit. I wouldn't be surprised to see somewhat, more upwards price action, more bullish price action, given the fact that last week we had a V shape and trended down the entire week, sweeping low after low after low, kind of keeping the highs somewhat intact, minus that deviation right there. So I'm just going to be patient here on Bitcoin. USDT dominance is also not giving me a very obvious direction compared to Bitcoin. It's literally doing the exact same as Bitcoin is doing, but then the opposite, sweeping the high over and over again, creating a distribution there that already hit a technical target. So it's literally Bitcoin. It's literally the same as Bitcoin, but then anti-correlated. If basically every pair locally, right? Every pair locally, it kind of looks like this. Sweeping that low over and over again, having some sort of very quick Model 2 accumulation with the third tap during Asia, and then from there you slowly grind it up, leaving sell side liquidity. So maybe you're gonna get a fast move up, fast move down, not give us any entries. That's completely fine, but I would love for it to give me some sort of a scalp. But very important to just stay patient and let the high probability models come to you and don't really force anything. Like when it's not really popping out, right? When you're not literally seeing the schematic and just immediately convinced, like why force it? You only need a few trades and you're done, right? Sometimes even only one trade. So I do believe if we start to go higher, okay, so if price starts to push out of this range, which is a big possibility, and we kind of make our way up in here and we start to go higher, we can probably redraw our range, where our range high is this high and the range low is this low. Okay, and this can become our new higher time frame range, where the purpose of that model 2 accumulation was just to create this bigger range, and then from there, look for potential, mid to high time frame distributions, where if we do go up right here and we kind of start to deviate and we kind of go down from there, and then later on we come back for it, you can get some sort of a high time frame model 1 distribution schematic of this range while coming into that very important 3K resistance, because that is still big resistance. Okay, I do believe if you can flip this supply, you may be going for new highs. Maybe you can go for new all-time highs, but you do got some supply zones in there, but relative to the 3K level, they are not that crazy, okay, and not that strong. The thing is, this would be a bit of a quick range bound price action environment. That's why I would love some sort of a distribution model going lower, where maybe it pushes price down all the way in here and you create just a bigger accumulation. That would be very easy for us, because like if you sweep that low, that's gonna be generational entry opportunities, because accumulations models when at the lows of this compressing range, like that's gonna be beautiful. Like people in here will be stressing so much because they will literally think that we're leaving that compressing price action. And when I'm talking about compressing price action, I'm referring back to these trend lines. Okay, so like you don't see me use trend lines that often, but on ETH it's just been respected very well, so I'm going to keep it on the chart. You can see all these higher lows building up and all these lower highs building up as well. So we're compressing here, but every time you just have such an aggressive move, you can simply look at the volume, right? Look at the volume. Look at that spike right there. Every single time you have such a big spike, which typically means just liquidations, right? Price tends to range after. Okay, so you can see right there a big spike on that push down, which was around the FTX crash, and then you had that range bound environment right after, and then right here you got that big crash during August last summer, and then you had that range bound price action right there, and then right here we even have the biggest daily peak. That's insane, biggest daily peak right there. So you can expect some sort of a range in here. So I wouldn't mind just a nice little old-fashioned range that can give us potential range rotation plays. Okay, so on the higher time frame, this would be like if the trading gods decide to bless us, because I'm not really here to predict, I'm more so here to react, but I do have a decent estimate where I am expecting some sort of a rejection in this area. But if it ends up happening like this, it was a shame we couldn't get that accumulation long, because then you can get the accumulation long for the distribution short for the swing long. But I will definitely be looking something like this. That'll be very easy price action. So not sure if ETH is gonna get that. Maybe we get something similar on some other pairs, but ETH not the biggest fan of taking the low in general. Okay, ETH is not the biggest fan of taking the low. So especially when you have a low on such high volume with such massive liquidations, you got to be a bit more skeptic about taking that low again. Because what these liquidations mean, it's basically like a massive misunderstanding regarding the value of ETH versus like the current price. Like when you get that big of a liquidation, it's an overreaction. Price shouldn't be going there. That's why it reverses back up that quickly. Price shouldn't even go there. Probably some market makers liquidating some people and reversing it back up to where it should be. So I don't know if you're gonna go back all the way there, but even just coming to extreme liquidity of that V-shaped move, seeing some sort of an accumulation, or right here, right where we're currently at, that would be pretty nice. That would be pretty nice. But yeah, locally, we're just going to focus on this range, see if we can take some scalps in between this. And looking at ETH, it still needs some time. Okay, it still needs some time. Even if you were, even if you were to go up right there and then still break structure, like this 10-minute demand zone is sketching me out. Okay, so technically speaking, this could be some sort of a low time frame Model 1 distribution schematic in here. Bro, Siri has been on my ass the entire day, bro. You would need some sort of you would need more price action here to confirm any entries. Okay, it's that simple. Like price would need to go down. In my opinion, price would need to go down, mitigate that 10-minute demand, slowly pull back up, creating structure, and then rejecting from some either extreme supply creation in there or extreme liquidity if you pull back here before going lower, to then confirm some sort of an entry where you can get like a low time frame scalp. And these scalps, right, even though they're on the lower time frame, man, the RR sometimes, depending on the invalidation, they can be great. Like looking at this, these scalps can be like 4 plus RR, and this has the opportunity to run down a bit more, sweeping all this liquidity, right? And you're already at 5.5 or even at a 6.5. So it depends on how it will develop going forward and how the entry will present itself. But typically, you know, getting these low time frame trades that are 100% valid and are just high probability based on how the liquidity is moving, supply is getting created, Wyckoff models getting created, you can catch amazing trades. Amazing trades. So as of now, are we creating some sort of supply? Look at that. We got some 3-minute supply right in that pivot point. And that would be it. That would be it. So maybe that is a bit high up though, right? It is a bit high up. So we're going to see how that gets created. It's not confirmed yet because you need that fair value gap between this low and that high right here to confirm the order block. And that candle is obviously not confirmed yet. So you need an hour and, or not an hour, but a minute and 46 seconds to confirm it. If it does, that would be nice. And from there, I would love to see that move down. Slow move up. Easy and aggressive break of structure. Enter on the break. Stop loss below that or above that third tap. Or which would be kind of like a 4 tap because it would be an extended model. And then target that range low. That would be an amazing play. Okay, that would be an amazing play. But we're going to see if price gives us the opportunity. I'm also looking at some other pairs. So obviously, if I want to short scalp ETH, like the market would just have to go down in general a bit. So I like to keep track of my other pairs as well, kind of see if they give similar type of vibes, similar confirmations, price actions, this and that. But this is just truly ranging, like ETH or Sol. It has that buy side liquidity above. It has been sweeping it, just didn't sweep that main high right there. It created the POI for a potential third tap if you do come in there. And it does have these sell side liquidity lows, right? It does have these sell side liquidity lows. So could make for nice plays. What I really like about ETH is his current volume profile. It's very nice, right? It's very nice. Yeah, it's okay distributed. You know, you got some 2 peaks in here, but looking at the price action in the range, it's some nice rangy price action, you know? So it could just make for easy range rotations from here down to here, you know, down to back up again until price breaks either side because ranges are obviously not for eternity. See if we can create that order block up there. It's created, but you don't want to pull back into it right now. You want to see it go down first. Okay, it needs to go down first. Test some of that demand. You can even see a little breaker in there depending on what you like to use, and then pull back. XRP, nothing that special. Also watching along. I'm checking a potential long opportunity if you do come down, right? If you do come down, leaving this a nice return to zone from this high all the way down towards that extreme demand mitigation or the sweep of the extreme liquidity, then yeah, on the breaker structure confirmation, I'll definitely look to long it, especially given the context on XRP on the higher time frame. Like that purple dot stands for an all-time high. So you deviate the all-time high on that purple dot. We were watching a PO3 for a damn minute. I don't think I posted the PO3 ever out in public. It was more private inside of the Discord community. But man, it did play out, but it's such a shitty way of playing out, right? It's such a shitty way of playing out where, that if for anyone that watched lecture 8 of the TCT mentorship, that's not a valid manipulation phase. At least not a manipulation phase where we can get some sort of an entry in. Okay, so definitely sketchier to enter. But you did sweep all that liquidity, and just like every other pair, when ETH crashed, we corrected, sell to buy, rebalanced price a bit after retracing. But we broke structure here, right? Following that local structure, we had lower highs and lower lows last week. This was the entire last week of price action. And bro, if you guys have watched the mentorship, or not the mentorship, but if you guys watched the last, was it the last? No. The second last video I uploaded on my YouTube on this channel, you're probably watching on it at the moment. Bro, that price action on XRP was beautiful. But each lower higher had a distribution model, which is just perfection. But from here, we actually broke structure. So if I make it thicker, you can see we actually broke structure. So I would be very surprised if we just break structure and then, it's the first break of structure so aggressive. There's always a chance, right, that you just break structure to mitigate more supply to then pull price lower again. And this push up was just to sweep more liquidity, mitigate more supply, trap people, to also give the market maker fuel to be able to push price actually lower. Because I said this in the video as well, if you make consistent lower highs and lower lows with 1 break, 2 break, 3 break, 4 break, and then 5, you cannot trend in one direction for that long. Okay, it's impossible. Price needs to grab liquidity, refuel to then continue into one direction. Like, a trend cannot continue like that consistently for a long period of time. Typically 3 to 5 breaks is where it likes to do some extra manipulation. So this could be that extra manipulation, but it is a nice break of structure. And given the context on Bitcoin as well, I was like, hey, this could turn into some sort of an accumulation. I gotta be careful with my voice a bit, though. But this turns and could turn into some sort of an accumulation. And just like on Bitcoin, you had a 1, 2, 3 right there, sweeping that beautiful sell side liquidity. It was building up very nice. For the people that were legends and watched the video, this is where that scalp was, the 2% scalp on Saturday night. But yeah, you were building all that up, that liquidity, popped back up, swept it. And now, after confirming a model 2, because I think ETH did have market structure. Yeah. So look at the difference, right? Look at the difference on, I think I said ETH. I meant XRP. But look at the difference on XRP versus Bitcoin. Okay, so right here you can see a structured move down coming into that third tap, and then you break it. Okay, you break that structure there. And I'm following the 6 candle rule, all taught in the free mentorship on YouTube. Okay, and you actually have that break of structure there. Whereas if you look at Bitcoin on the lower time frame, look what happened here after putting in that third tap. Like, you were just having a lower high and a lower low, and then boom, you went up from there. You never took that low again. So you couldn't really confirm a break of structure until breaking that high right there. Whereas XRP actually came down structured. So XRP did have a confirmation, and we did get a push up, but you can see that ever after expanding at around 430 UTC plus 1, you're grinding up slowly. It's that simple. Look at all these lows right here. Low, higher low, all these higher lows locally. Then you create a range, you deviate the high, all these higher lows locally. So for a stronger push up, if you do want to break out of this range, it's actually more bullish to then sweep all this sell side liquidity, allowing the market makers to fill more long positions, to then reverse price back up. And now you can actually potentially have a more sustained move up that can reach some higher levels where maybe to a point where this becomes your new range. The same way I drew it on ETH, you know, this could become your new range on the higher time frame. And that range could continue itself again. And that range could break down, right? That range could go up, just like on ETH. And then you can get a distribution. And then that range could break down. And then this will be your range low. And that will be your range high on the macro time frame. It's literally what we did on ETH. It's ranges going over in ranges. And would all start from that point right there. And then from here, we could look for potential accumulations, right? And then we could shoot back up. That would mess up a lot of people from an patience standpoint, should I say. You know, but it's that low time frame accumulation, creating that pivot point for then the mid time frame range, and then that creates the pivot point for the high time frame range, which is typical if price is indeed intended to range for a bit longer, which is something we do not know right now with conviction. At least I'm not completely sure yet. But you do got a lot of fucking liquidity above. Like, look at these highs, bro. Like, this is very obvious liquidity. So once price is indeed ready to sweep that, to sweep those highs, you're gonna sweep those highs fast. That's for sure. If you're gonna come back for those highs, that's a guarantee. I'm just saying, if price does, and when it's ready to do so, if it's ready to do so, you're gonna have an easy sweep. ETH is creating it somewhat nicely. If you can just go down a bit more, mitigate this right here, that'll be perfect. That'll be perfect. Then we'll catch ourselves a little live trade. Blessing the public viewers. This will be perfection. And for the people curious where I take these leverage trades, I put everything right now in the bio of these videos. I typically never did that, so I decided to copy and paste it over. I personally trade on Mexi, and there's also BitUnix. I've been starting to trade on there as well. They're both non-KYC, so anybody watching can trade on these platforms. Great liquidity. I was very surprised by BitUnix. They have great liquidity for, you know, just like the size of them. So, just in case you're interested. This needs to calm down a bit more if we want anything. XRP chilling in this range. Doge. Man, Doge is also chilling, bro. I do believe, right? I do believe if we go lower from here, I currently have this range, but I'm not completely sure if I want to and if I'm going to keep that range if price decides to come lower. I think if we go lower first, I think looking at this from a structure standpoint is the better move, because then you're making lower highs and lower lows all the way down here. And this was not particularly that much range price action, right? It was also just a pretty sharp move up and down. Whereas from here, you can actually see proper sideways price action where price actually spends time at this point right here in the chart. You know, so if we do go lower, I will redraw my range and look for the same accumulation plays. And yeah, just like any pair, you can watch for potential distribution there, but you just have to watch the pair that has the highest probability of playing out if prices indeed decide to go lower. Because you don't want to enter a position on all of them, because then you're just over risking on typically or like actually the same trade, because ETH is only going to be playing out most likely if the other pairs are playing out. And Pepe has just been in this range. Like, from a volume profile perspective, this is actually a very good range. It's very concentrated in the middle. So you can see the shape of this volume profile. Pepe is literally just in a range. So we have supply above, we have demand below. It's a great spot to potentially start something that we can trade, but as of now, it's a bit sketchy to trade in here, because you're literally trading at the POC where price likes to spend its most time. That's why it's the POC, while also being at the equilibrium of this range. If I put the EQ on the chart, you're literally at the EQ. So rather just be patient. It's not Siri, it's the market maker. Are market makers liquidating other market makers? Ooh. I don't think it's that direct. I don't think it's like a market maker liquidating another market maker because they win. They all win, right? They all win on probably different expansions in the market. If you guys, if you by the way ask me why wouldn't you take the Model 2 distribution, um, say the pair in there because like I'll read it later. I don't read it in the moment, so I'll not know what you're talking about. But if you're talking about ETH, just go back in the stream. I explained it very in depth why I wouldn't take that. Darred, Lars, what about the lecture teaching how to properly manage? Guys, I'm fucking making it, but you have to be patient, bro. It's a pain in the ass to make that lecture. If Darred, if you can give me the proper context on XRP, I will have the video ready. All love, all love. Just got here. You checked with. I posted a WIF setup for you guys in my channel in the Discord. Seeing a distribution on Sol. I guys, you gotta look at the stream. We just talked about Sol. Okay. Darren, I have to disappear from here. When you give me the correct context, I'll give you that Mexi lecture. But overall, guys, Mexi is so easy. Every exchange is so easy to use. I'm going to make a video on it because for some reason people still don't understand the exchange. But it's a buy and a sell button in the end. And then just some TP, stop loss, quick drags, this and that. But it's just from an execution standpoint where you guys can sometimes learn a few things with changing the leverage, changing the margin, changing the ratio between the two, de-risking, blah, 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 blah. Partials, this and that, trailing stop losses. But overall, it's not that hard. But man, I hope we get something like this. That would be nice. So again, I want to see a move down. But if you leave all that liquidity, it's going to be amazing. If you leave liquidity down here, right? Or up there, should I say, and then you come down, and then you start to go back up again, you can sweep that easy liquidity coming into that POI and then reject. Boom. Very nice scalp. I do think you're building price action outside of the volume profile. Yeah, ETH also has a very nice concentrated one. That's why I like this fair value gap. So look at this. You're kind of deviating the volume area high. And you're at a point in price right now where it is okay. Like you don't want to go higher. If you go higher, you're kind of losing the volume profile. Right here, you add like a place where if you do come back down like this, you can call this a nice deviation of that volume area high because it is a very nice distributed one. So the volume area high and low tend to work as good, support and resistance levels. So it would have to happen right there. It's kind of like an extreme buy-side liquidity sweep, low time frame, high probability distribution model. Make a quick buck, but you can see you can even get a rotation. If you get something like this, oh man, you can get a rotation down to here easily. Like look at all this liquidity down there. And then that volume area low right there, it should act as support, especially in confluence with some demand, inefficiencies, whatever you want to use as your POIs. Okay. But what I kind of have here is this it's just this 30-minute like fair value gap craziness, should I say. It's like for value gap, just an inefficiency level on the chart. There's not like a proper demand zone in here because you didn't really have any structure to confirm anything. So right here on the 45-minute, just a crazy inefficiency level. And it's right below that volume area low. And you can use the sell to buy as well as some form of demand, but I'm not really gonna bother. I'll just use that refined area in combination with the volume area low, but we'll have to see something from up here. Okay, that's where it all starts. Sometimes volume decreasing also. Volume can also always pick back up. You have to be aware of that, but if you kind of confirm the breaker structure, and then you see overall volume also decreasing, it's like if you can't break this high on this amount of volume, like if you can break that price point, should I say, on that amount of volume, what's gonna make you believe you're gonna convincingly break that point on even less volume, right? But we're gonna see. We're gonna see. We gotta be patient. I want to go down first. That's the whole point. Don't start asking me, "Oh, should we enter on the breakout structure?" I want to go down first. So even if you go up and down, I'll happily miss the setup. I just want to go down first to kind of mitigate this area right here. But you are building also nice local liquidity, right? So you kind of have liquidity in 2 points. You have liquidity right here. And then you have this sell to buy, and then you have liquidity right there. That's kind of the situation. So you rather want it to be one compact move. Rather it to be a one compact movement. Let me set my alerts properly right there. Reset the alert right there. ETH send alert right here. XRP reset all these alerts. Bro, TradingView tends to fuck up my alerts. Sometimes I just don't get the alert. Like sometimes I'll just pull up my phone, I'll look at price action, I'm like, damn. I'm just like just on time, or I just missed this, you know? So don't know what's wrong with TradingView. Instructions unclear. Which button is buy? Which button is sell? Yeah. Can you check out the CRV chart? Oh yeah, for sure. I like to check CRV. Linus, thank you for helping me set up Mexi in private DMs on Discord. I hope you're joking, but that is not me. I'm telling you right now, that is not me. So I know if you're talking to a scammer, but that is not me, Linus. So just letting you know. Don't send any money to any broker. Sui low time frame 1 minute scalp. Let me check. I was also watching the accumulation on Sui. Sui is so clean, bro. That POI, oh lord. This call, God, I don't think I've went public with this call. Now I went public with the call, but I haven't had a live stream talking about this call. I know, maybe last Monday, but it's been a week. So I'm gonna say it again. What a call. I'm gonna say it again. I don't care if I said it last Monday. What a fucking call on Sui right there. God damn. That was insane. That was absolutely insane. So yeah, we bounced with that POI. I do like this bottom a lot, guys. Like I like this bottom a lot. Okay? This is nice. Right here. That's a nice bottom. That's a nice bottom for sure. Look at that. That's a beautiful bottom. I'm not gonna lie. If you can close the daily candle like this, I'm definitely expecting a higher low for a higher high to be put in. But I'm like, is that already like? There's so much liquidity here above as well. But I'm like, is that already is that enough for price? Like it's so young. Like you just had this massive distribution at the highs right here. And then you're gonna have one push down and one higher low to reverse price back up. Because your high time frame structure is still good, right? Look at that. That can still make higher lows for higher highs. I'm just like, was this already enough? But that's a nice low. Honestly, that's a damn nice low. How much percent would that be? 60%, but let's say you backtest. 60 to 70%. I'm curious what's going to happen here, to be honest. I am curious, but pulling back, finding support of that extreme demand. Let me go on a lower time frame right here. That's such a nice play. Coming into that 1 hour supply, that's where you're seeing a tiny rejection here. Oh man, I really wanted to take that accumulation long. I was watching that for a damn minute. But the Asia market makers beat me to it. Because just like on XRP, this actually had structure in that pivot point. This actually had a market structure confirmation right there. It even looks like a low time frame reaccumulation model. Like, you cannot tell me otherwise. Look at that. That looks like a low time frame distribution going over into a low time frame accumulation right there. That is nice. That is definitely nice. But right here, you got that breakup structure. Oh, Lord. What time was this? 3:40, man. We can never sleep, guys. We cannot sleep anymore. What did it take that low? I don't even think it did. No, okay, so let me correct myself. This was the breakup structure right there, because you're using this high. That changes the RR by a lot. Still 3.6, but it has the potential, right? It has the potential. All the way up here, 5.5. That liquidity, I'm targeting that liquidity right there. It could, we're coming into some resistance. Is that still a higher time frame structure? No, higher time frame structure is slowly trying to break back the bullish right here. Look at that. So you would overall expect a higher low for a higher high. That's what my plan is, right? That's what my plan is on Sui. So I really like this bottom. Okay, that's an amazing fucking bottom, especially the way price swept the liquidity down here, came back, is forming this amazing bottom. If we can kind of close price action in this area, doesn't really matter what happens. You can also go a bit higher. What I would expect for tomorrow, if the second daily candle opens, what you should also expect is a higher low for a higher high. I cannot promise you, how deep this higher low is going to go. Maybe it's a tiny pullback the moment the daily opens and you just push up higher. That's something I can't tell. But this higher low for the higher high, you should look for some longs the second you go below daily open, once that daily candle opens. Okay, because that could be the daily low. So looking on a lower time frame, what that would look like, I don't know if you have any order block creations in here, but it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it. It's coming up pretty weirdly. But that's a big inefficiency level. I'm like, oh, look at that. That would be crazy. That would be pretty crazy. Look at that fucking what the fuck do you call this, bro? A 1, 2, 3, 4, a 5x hidden, whatever you want to call it, block, quadruple. What's a 5? What's a 5-time breaker block? I don't even know. But how would that align with some sort of fib? Okay. What about this? It's actually on that spike right there. So, best case scenario, right? Best case scenario is we can catch some sort of a distribution in here, take that down, create the daily low, and pump up higher. And you have until Tuesday. So this drawing is a bit stretched out. That's not a good drawing. Let me... Where is my vertical line? That's kind of what you would want to see. Man, that would be perfect. That would be picture perfect. And where my focus kind of was is I was looking for that breaker that was located after sweeping that liquidity of the move up. So this will be that low where you kind of sweep the liquidity of this total move up, which can make for nice plays, right? Which can make for nice plays. So if you get some sort of a distribution in here, and you can take that down towards here and look for longs, man, that can be a nice pivot point play right here on Sui, and that should easily rip towards these highs. I think you can rip it towards these highs for sure. I like that play. Yeah, I like that play for sure. That would be nice. This drawing would be perfect. Okay, that would be perfect. However, I do have to say, if you have to combine that drawing with this bar pattern, it would be a bit deep. Typically, when you have such a good bottom, you don't go that deep. Okay? So, best case scenario is you get something like this. That's literally best case scenario. But a more realistic scenario for more a bullish continuation. Let me hide this drawing so that we can come back for it later. Boom. A more realistic view for an actual bullish continuation would be to get something like this, and then still go higher, right? That would be a more realistic expectation. But if you get it, right? If you get it, oh man, you bet your ass I'll be on the buttons. That's a crazy little, like, look at that. That's crazy. That's crazy. But for me, the most importance is on sweeping that liquidity. Okay, that's for me the most important part about the move down. But it could then get like an automatic reaction from here. That'll be crazy. So I'll be setting some alerts here. I'm gonna set an alert above it and then set an alert below it. ETH. So it came back up. I was actually almost sweeping that low. It's I wanted to come down first. I wanted to come down first. It's just the block. The block is not good. That's the problem. This block right here, the 10-minute block. You would rather want to trade this as like its own little Model 2 distribution. Like this. To then go higher. But not trade as the full one. Kind of similar to the scalp. Similar to the scalp. On XRP. From last Saturday. I was like similar to the scalp, but they have no idea what scalp I'm even talking about. What does this look like on a higher time frame? It's grinding up. And obviously, last scenario on Sui is that you just pop off. Like, honestly. That's the other very high potential scenario, given the fact that this bottom is nice, bro. This bottom is nice. That's a nice bottom. I am very curious what's going to play out here. But at least it gives us a bias for tomorrow, right? For potential nice plays. Let me check the chat. Bitcoin lover, when you use bars patterns and you look at 3 candles to form a bottom, does the last 2 candles need to close with the previous 2 candles? No, I'm mostly just looking at the lows. So I call this a nice bottom because I'm just seeing the I'm seeing like a 1, 2, 3, a 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Where you have kind of like the Model 1 going into a Model 2. Nice round up bottom effect. I'm just focusing on these lows getting taken right there. Beautiful. And then having that bullish expansion away on the 4th candle. Mwah. What an OB. Yeah, that's a crazy one, bro. How long have I been trading? Oh, bro, for like 4+ years. Was wondering if the 3rd candle needs to show strength. Oh, for sure. If you get strength right here, but it will be the 4th candle, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will be the 4th one in this situation. Because this bottom will be not nice, right? This bottom right here, the initial 3 tap, 1, 2, 3. That's still sketchy because the candle couldn't even close bullish. But now that you see that bullish expansion, you're like, oh Lord, now we're definitely ready. And ETH went higher. This range is valid on the 30, actually. Yeah, so there's still many different opportunities in this range. It all depends on how the price action will be developing in the near future. Because you could break this, right? You could break this, come to demand, complete this as its own individual low time frame Model 1 that then becomes your tap 2 of the higher time frame on the 30-minute. On the 30-minute, it just looks like one deviation. So if price does come down here, right, and then you still slowly come up, you can take that trade. You can take that trade on the breaker structure and target that low and right here. where you have a 1, 2, and you have a 3, where the second tap had its own little model 1. But that's only if you can get a move down, okay? And that's always the case. You need to see that break of structure. You need to see overall signs of weakness. Otherwise, it's risky behavior. Risky behavior. Yeah. And this is what trading is, right? And that's also what I like to portray in like the Discord itself when we're live streaming every day and we're searching for these setups. It's patience, it's waiting, it's waiting, it's waiting, it's pre-planning, it's seeing your initial idea fail, it's waiting, waiting, adjusting, adjusting again and again and again, and then seeing the confirmation and then pulling the trigger because you're so prepared, and then again being patient with the trade management and the trade execution and letting the trade play out, right? Without stressing over every single little tick going in your favor or not. Like that is truly what trading is, and it's not the whole flashy lifestyle of quick entry on the beach, on the phone where you enter and exit. Like sometimes you have those trades where you enter because you get the notification and you're like not behind the computer or anything, but overall it's so much patience and it's so much waiting, and then you click for a few seconds and then it's so much waiting again. That's all it is, waiting, waiting, waiting. But I saw this somewhere, like trading is the hardest way to make easy money. Is it possible for the liquidity building up on ETH to simply not get swept and continuing grinding higher? Oh, for sure. For sure. Always a possibility. Like you're trading against an accumulation. Right? You're trading against this accumulation. So the technical target is here. You're still looking at the gold PO3. I don't know what it was doing. I was posting this. Oh, well, it actually played out. That actually hit the technical target. Now I was like, oh man, what if you have a PO3 within the PO3 today? I've not seen it that often, but I have seen it before. And where this PO3 right here, this PO3 would be the manipulation phase of the macro PO3. So this will be your range. And then this will be the manipulation, where the manipulation phase itself has its own PO3. And then this will be the expansion. It's always a possibility. It's just a bit too early to tell, in my opinion. Because as of now, like a PO3 is the typical scenario where price is just showing signs of strength until it's not, until you confirm that high probability distribution. So I'm gonna wait patiently. I was pointing out this distribution. It did actually hit the technical target right here, but from there, you actually went back up again. So it's a bit sketchy. All I'm saying is if you kind of invalidate this and go higher, it's simply just too high for proper deviation. But it could still happen, right? I'm just being patient. Like you don't want to force a short on an asset that looks this strong for now. Yeah. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. Okay. Boom. Let me check the chat. PO6. Yeah. Do you trade NQ or SPX? Not really. Just no need to. I trade some Forex if setups are present, but not really Nasdaq or ES. It's not really necessary for me personally. Why don't you check out the trade ideas from the crypto channel on the stream? It's because people watch the people that watch me want to see what I have to say about charts and not what you guys have to post about the setups, right? Don't even come and talk to me about Bart Simpson patterns, bro. Like that. Bro, don't talk about any Bart Simpson patterns. Uh, 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 um. Look at width. Bro, I literally check width. I posted a width setup in my channel, right? That's where my focus is on width. If I don't post another setup, I'm not focused on it. You guys are probably all too focused on this. Hmm. I don't know. Mm, 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 mm. Like, you know what the higher time frame is doing, right? Like you want to take the short into a long overall. Like the context is not, the context is against. That's what you need to be aware of. Could it work? There's always a possibility. Where is your break structure? It's a bit of a hard entry though. Did you even take? Oh, you didn't even take that high. Oh, my bad. Right here. You didn't even take that. You haven't even broken structure, and you got the mat right below, so you would need to be patient. And you're building some low time frame liquidity above. That's not what you want. You want to have just like an aggressive break of structure. Even if you enter, even if you have an aggressive break. That's not mitigated. Yeah. It does meet the requirements, right? It does meet the requirements. It would be against context, because the context is, that we're in that bigger range with that deviation of the low, right? So you would kind of look for something like this overall, or something like that. If it's present, it could always dump down. It's not confirmed. It's just an expectation. Um, what I dislike is that Price had to spend so much time breaking structure, had to travel so much distance, that like once you start to break here, you also arrive into demand. So like it's very normal to have some sort of a relief move up, you know? But is that relief move going to push you just higher? Or is it actually just going to be a relief move or not? It kind of depends also on how you break here. If it's just a tap and go, then it's a bit sketchier. But it could work. I'm sorry for spamming Lars. I just got a notification from Discord. I don't like when you have to wait for a breaker structure and you're building this above and it takes so much time. You just want what you wanted to have was literally price take this high, confirm this as your low, break it easily, and then slowly pull back. That's what you want to see. Now you're like wicking the low, building liquidity above, and then price takes it, and you just spike back up, and you're like, now you're 2 hours further, and the setup is still not there, and then it just doesn't confirm. Okay, so you guys can definitely watch this. Just know it's against context given the bigger picture of having this range right here. Don't know what that volume profile is doing. Yeah, I was like, maybe if you're rejecting from the val, you can get some moves down. What's ETH doing? Moving higher, Bitcoin moving higher. Ooh, I would watch out. I would watch out with that sketchy breaker structure as of now. Okay, it's not even a breaker structure. And if it goes higher from here, I would kind of like it. Kind of gets a bit extended, but you can watch for a Model 1. I'll send an alert right there. And I'll be very patient on the Model 2, especially first trade of the week. You guys know how I like to handle the first trades. Extremely high probability models get you in that zone, get you locked in. So yeah, it was a nice little stream. I had to update some charts either way, so I just did it with you guys. No TA on your meme coins, okay? That's better. Just straight up analyzing charts, waiting for the high probability models, wanting to compound that 5%. Guys, start to lock the fuck in, okay? Start to lock in. Get those screen hours in, get the knowledge in, study the mentorship, ask me questions, study my posts, study my chart setup, study. And then once you can analyze the charts all day and see these fucking models present themselves and execute and compound those RRs, bruh, you don't even care about what your meme coin is gonna do. Okay, you don't even care. It's just a side investment that if that rugs, you got cash flow coming in each and every single week. Okay, so lock in. I love to see you on the other side. This is what we do in the Discord all day, analyzing the charts and then entering the trades together, profiting and compounding those gains while grinding, studying, wanting to be better financially, mentally, spiritually, physically, you name it. Absolute amazing fucking community. I love you guys. And I will see you all tomorrow morning on the other side. Okay, ciao, ciao.